Hey y'all, welcome to Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki.
Today we are going a little off book. I'm sure you guys already noticed we are doing an audio only episode because your girl is somewhere across the country taking photographs. Hopefully seeing some elk in Colorado right now. I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna be.
That would be amazing. Today we're just jumping straight into our little segment, and we're going to be talking about reasons, real couples regretted inviting people to their wedding. I'll start us off with number one: someone announcing their engagement at my wedding reception.
I never understood this. Announcing anything
that
has
hate
nothing.
it.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Pregnancy, engagement,
Hate it.
death.
Even dating.
Yeah.
Like,
Get
don't bring your new boyfriend to my motherfucking wedding. I don't know him.
No.
Get that dirty dog out of here.
No drama. Like, this is my wedding. Please leave. Unless this
Get
is
out.
actually orchestrated by the couple. Like,
Correct.
oh, it's my sister and her boyfriend of 18 years is finally proposing and they have this whole big shindig planned. Go for it.
Nope, even then.
Well, I mean, I don't love it either, but
For me, personally.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I'm selfish.
oh yeah, don't take my thunder.
Don't take my second wedding reception away from me.
Yeah. It's like that episode of Friends where Monica and Chandler get engaged and then Ross and Rachel are kissing in the hallway.
Oh my
And she's
God,
like,
yeah.
you stole my fucking thunder. Like, now everyone's talking about you and Ross.
Were they kissing in the hallway? I thought that's when she was pregnant. That's when she was taking a pregnancy test in the bathroom. They weren't kissing in the hallway, and nobody knew it was Ross. And nobody actually knew Rachel was pregnant.
So that was the wedding. But when Monica and Chandler got engaged.
Oh, engaged.
yes,
Yeah.
she was like,
So true.
bro, I'm sorry. And if you don't watch Friends, you know,
Spoiler.
go the fuck away.
We just
Because,
spoiled
like, what
everything.
in the world? But when Chandler's doing the whole, like, I'm going to throw you off the scent, I never want to get married kind of thing. And then Richard comes back into the mix and goes, Monica, I do want to marry you. Look, I love Adam so much. But
You'd marry
on
Richard?
that list of, like, who can take me away from Adam is Tom
Richard.
Selleck. That stash.
Tom Selleck or Richard, the character?
Tom Selleck. No, I'm talking about real life, baby. Real
Okay.
life. Tom Selleck, Sam Elliott. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Even at their age, at their current ancient age.
We should play Smash or Pass on the pod.
I love it. And
Next episode.
Tom Selleck and Sam Elliott.
You're smashing
Both.
at the same time.
Same time. Adam's going to be listening to this and be like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl?
I'm gonna pass. I'm
On
gonna
both of
pass. Tom Selleck is Richard, maybe, but I will say there have been many a time. I don't know. Okay, you guys, I have this weird thing with attraction to people, and I don't have like physical attraction to people I think that most people find physically attractive. Like, not saying Sam Elliott is somebody that every woman's
Okay.
like, oh yeah, let me get on
Let me throw a
this.
couple names at you of
Okay.
like conventionally
attractive men.
would let them punch me in the face. That's how hot they are.
Okay.
Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay, that's literally my only one. Did you know this?
No.
This is so funny. That is my only, but only him as Jax.
As Jax Teller.
As Jax, yes.
Yeah.
Only him as Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Charlie Hunnam himself, I'm passing. I don't care.
And he has an English accent as a normal
care.
human, and
Yep.
I don't love that.
I'm
I
passing.
want you to kill people on my behalf.
Yeah, and
ride a
I'm getting on your
motorcycle.
motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Jax Taylor, smash. Charlie Hunnam, pass. I do not like
That's
him as a normal
interesting.
human. I'm like, you're boring to me.
Yeah.
So like conventionally attractive people that other people are like, oh, he's so hot. I can look at somebody and be like, if their personality, like I'm a personality girly. Look at my dating track record.
Then you know who?
Like,
This is someone who I think is a sexy mofo, but also personality.
mhm.
Pedro Pascal.
See, I will half smash, but
Okay.
half pass. I don't know.
This is also making me feel very promiscuous because I'm like, no, I would fuck the shit out of all these people that I'm naming.
You sound like Z.
I'm
That's
like-
literally, this is what we do. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would. But
Crazy.
people like Chris
Like
Hemsworth,
Hemsworth.
I'm passing. I'm
Yeah.
passing. I don't need that big body all on me sweating and shit.
Yeah. I actually think that, and I don't know what our demographic is of people who listen, men or women, like where the split is. Probably mostly women. I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
which is fine with me. So hopefully I'm not hurting any men's feelings out there. But like, I think men don't quite understand that. A lot of the times it's not ideal. I don't want a giant like bodybuilder-esque build.
I don't need.
That also means you're spending 6 hours a day in the gym. I am far too selfish for that to be happening. Like, no. That, or let's be honest, the other thing, if it's too big, it's too big. Sometimes bigger is not better, is all I'm saying.
Have I ever showed you that picture, that video of that guy?
You've shown me some things that we're not gonna,
I've shown you
you've
some
shown me some
things.
But all I'm saying is like, men.
Send me one more name. Give me one more.
Okay, let me just think about like who
Conventionally
I
attractive.
am like, honestly, maybe it's just because I'm listening to his podcast a lot.
Is it Dax?
Dax Shepard to me is so, number one, he is controversial sometimes.
He is.
He is like, he's very devil's advocate about everything, which that's probably one of my least favorite attributes of his, but he's like an
Really?
older,
I kind of think that's hot.
He's an older guy. I feel like he's aged very well. Muscles, like, I think he's getting
giving
salt and
like
peppery.
dad too. Like
Exactly.
he's giving dad.
He's giving
Yeah.
dad.
And I love a dad.
And I think him and Kristen Stewart
Kristen
Bell are just like a hot older couple.
They're
And
not even that old.
no. I fully understand.
Older than us.
Older
Okay.
than us couple. Where I go like, yeah, like they're like mom and dad.
Yes,
like,
mom and dad. They're giving mom and dad.
Yeah, but like hot.
I think Dax, like, I think he's not a conventionally attractive person, though, in terms of, like, people seeing him. And I kind of also like that.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, he's like a little nitty gritty as well. Former drug addict. Like,
I love that.
We love the trauma.
No, I love that. But like even watching Love is Blind Minnesota, there's like a couple of the characters on there and people that I was watching it with, they're like, oh, he's so hot. And I'm looking at this man and I'm going, I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate his guts.
Do you think that's just getting older though? Because when I was younger, like, yes, a boy could be really hot to me. And I swear to God, I'd let this man treat me like I'm a piece of shit.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh God, he's just so hot. Now these Love is Blind, some of these men, I go, I almost don't even think about their faces. I think about the words that are coming out of their mouth, and I'm like, "You're ugly." I'm like, "This is." I don't even want to look at you.
And not ugly in terms of like, oh, you're a hideous faced human. No, but like you're just an ugly person in general.
Like how you're speaking and how you're acting is quite unattractive. That it's so to the point where I go, your face is not even registering to me. I'm not thinking about how wafted your hair looks and how, you might have like combed your eyebrows this morning.
I don't care how groomed you are. If you're just a dirty dog, back away from me.
Get away from me.
And I don't kick dogs, but I'd kick a dirty boy.
I'd kick a lot of things.
Not a dog.
Anyway,
number 2.
That's how our other episode went to, our other audio episode. Almost, do you wonder if our audio episodes just go off the rails a little bit because we just like, we're not focused on the video. We're not like, we're
maybe
sweaters,
hair plastered to our faces.
And we're just like,
zits out.
We're talking about what we want to talk about. Tootin'. Anyways,
rootin'.
So in case you have lost the plot of this episode, we're talking about.
I honestly forgot
reasons
why real people regret inviting guests to their wedding.
Yeah. Okay, my aunt got drunk, threw up in the bathroom, and left her dentures on the sink.
Oh my God.
We forgave her because she was 92 and it was awesome that she made it to our wedding. So essentially it was awesome that she hadn't died yet.
That's actually amazing.
But you're 92 and you're getting drunk. She probably had a couple sips of champagne.
She had a drink spilled on her and it absorbed into her skin so quickly.
Yeah.
That she got hammered.
Speaking of, Adam and I had this conversation this morning. So I take these morning B12 little dissolvable tablets and they say like put them under your tongue and let them dissolve. And Adam goes, that's so stupid. Why don't people just chew them and eat them? And I said, well, no. I think that you're supposed to put it under your tongue because your skin's probably really thin down there and it seeps into your bloodstream a little bit easier. And he goes, oh, I just figured it helps it dissolve, but then it just goes up into your mouth, into the back of your throat and you swallow it. And I go, I don't think so. I think there's a reason you put things under your tongue.
I think there's a reason none of us are,
doctors,
chemists, So
That's true.
just pharmacists, we
would be bad at it.
we just do what we're told. Stick that shit under your tongue. If they told you to put it in your butt, you would. You'd do it.
No,
like literally, it's a suppository. Somebody's like,
Yeah,
I'm a chemist.
put
I'm
that in
a
your
pharmacist. I'm a doctor. Put this in your butt and you'll feel 10 times better. And we're all like, oh,
okay, no problem.
Yeah. No.
Good thing we don't have the
I
camera
was gonna say
running
no
right
video
now.
is so much better
It
for that
really
reason
is.
alone. Okay, number 3, showing up late to the ceremony in ripped fucking jeans and a bright orange hoodie. Get out. I'm kicking you and your hunting gear ass out of my freaking wedding.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a 14-year-old with like heavy eyeliner and their hair plastered to their head and they look just like a crazy person.
Well, and to show up late, if you're going to look a mess like that, you might as well be on time, hide in the crowd. Like, give me a break.
Just leave. Just don't come.
That's fair. I think I was just talking to someone about this, that families are different, where at some weddings, like your nice outfit or your formal outfit might be your nice jeans.
That's so true. You know what?
Instead of like a black tie event.
Like we've said, everything is subjective, and it really truly is subjective to each person. Like to us, we have a different idea of what your nicest, dress up fit is. And to the people living, I don't know, somewhere else, I'm not going to, isolate any population right now. But,
Alabama.
Thank you for doing that.
Rural Alabama. I think there are very nice spots in Alabama.
Yeah, I could say there's some really
old
stylish,
money down there. Plantations.
Well,
I'm just saying, old money. It's not right, but they're down there.
It's wrong.
Yeah. You can't say they're not down there.
They're there.
But they got some fancy stuff.
Yeah, there's some rich folks who, are stylish. But to me, my nicest, fanciest outfit is going to be different, than somebody else's.
I actually just saw this. I don't think you and I talked about it, but it was a post that essentially said and it was a bride who used this, that there is a term, wedding dysmorphia, that people are seeing weddings on the internet. And it is giving them a very false sense of what their wedding will look like.
Oh, God, I can only imagine.
We're in the wedding industry, so I know. I can look at a photo and go, that floral budget, probably $80,000. I know. Or you have these styled shoots, which, again, are stunning, and they're meant to be practice and, stylistic. But, if you were to do these styled shoots on an actual grandiose, grandiose wedding for 150 people, that setup would be well over a 6-figure wedding. So it's just there's this thing that people are going through when they start.
It's a false sense of what your wedding day is going to look like. And I do really think that it is creating a disservice amongst couples and real people planning real weddings, because it is – like we talked about in our previous episode, if you've never planned a wedding, you don't know these things and you don't have an actual understanding of what is a realistic representation of what your wedding day can look like on your budget. And so people seeing these reels of these, like you said, grandiose, huge, massive floral installations, or these tented events, or these big drapery back, people don't understand that is typically done either on a $500,000 budget or on a very small scale for a photo shoot that is not a full representation of what an actual day looks like, which is also why styled shoots can be a little frustrating because photographers a lot of the time don't clarify that this is a styled shoot. And it's misleading to couples thinking, well, I can have my wedding like that too, because, my photographer is photographing this and I've hired them and hopefully they can make my wedding look like this.
Like that.
When in reality, they don't realize that this was a small setup that a photographer paid to take photos of. That's not.
And that disservice, let's talk about trickle down, because that disservice starts with the couples, right? They have no idea what they're getting themselves into. Well, then there is an expectation almost that their photographs are going to look like the photographer's photographs of this big wedding, when the budget's completely different, everything's completely different. So then photographers are put into a really interesting position, and planners are put into an interesting position to say well, yes, I planned this wedding that you saw photos of, but their budget was 10 times higher. That realistic piece of it really, it gets hard, and it almost sets literally everyone up for failure in the situation. Whereas if we go, okay, look, I don't have that high of a budget, but that's okay. I just want to focus on the emotions of the day.
Yep.
Find a photographer that captures emotion the way you want it to. Not did they take a pretty picture of a floral arrangement.
Yeah. Yep.
Because those are two fucking different things.
Way different things.
And I've heard that feedback back and forth of some people hire a photographer that takes very high-end luxury photos and then they feel like their gallery didn't look like that. Then I also hear people hire fully documentary wedding photographers and they feel like, well, we didn't get a lot of portraits and we didn't get a lot of this. And it's like, well, yeah, that's because that's not what they do. So it's important to know what you're looking for. And that's why I always think a planner is really important.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes that's not in the budget, but if you are going to have a wedding and you want to ensure you are getting like what you want, sometimes you don't know how to verbalize what you want.
And also, if you're somebody planning a wedding listening to this, ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
Up the ass. I'd rather have somebody ask me like very realistic questions regarding style and approach and what to expect ahead of time, opposed to like booking me because they thought my work was so good on Instagram or on my website. And then we hop on a call and we vibe and then they book me and then they're like drilling me with all of these questions. It's like, we talked about all of this stuff before. I'd rather you ask me ahead of time and then trust me throughout the process of working together instead of second guessing and questioning everything after the fact of already booking me.
Yep.
Like, I think that is, maybe you're just an anxious person in general, which that's okay. But at a certain point, you also have to understand that, like, realistically, your wedding is not going to be a $5 million Vogue spread wedding.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, great. Hire Meg and I. We will tag team the shit out of it.
Yeah,
and
we'll rock that
you
shit.
can pay us $25K. We'll split it. But, realistically here, the weddings that we're doing, while some of them are considered a little bit more higher end, it's not going to be the same as what you're seeing on a Instagram reel that has 70 million views and 150,000 likes of, an heiress of a freaking castle out in Spain hosting a wedding on the edge of a cliff in Ireland.
Yeah. And guess what? That's okay.
That's okay.
Like, your wedding day is supposed to be about you getting married. And if you have the budget for things, that's awesome. And we will document the shit out of that. But if you don't, that's okay too. And I also think that we need to normalize, like, when Adam and I started planning the wedding, I went, look, I don't want a ton of people there.
Right.
Max 50 people. That way the budget that I have can be used for other maybe more stylized or designed items because I'm not doing it on such a large scale. Also, talk to your venues about getting married in the fucking middle of the week because I bet your bottom dollar, their fees are a lot less. And maybe you take that whole entire week off with, you and your person, you get married on a Thursday and then go for a long weekend or head out on your honeymoon or you're spend the entire long weekend with family and friends and go to a fucking baseball game, go to the zoo, like have a big grand weekend. So it's just like, you can do whatever you want, but I need people to stop looking at social media and thinking like, well, that's what I need to do. Do what you want to do.
And what you can afford. Don't go into debt for that stuff. And I really actually like what you said about looking at galleries or looking at people's work and looking at the people in them and not just the details. I'm actually reworking on my website a little bit right now because I refuse to pay somebody because I'm just an idiot. So I stay up until 4 a.m. every night trying to get it done. But I'm carefully looking at galleries and going, okay, what is really representative of how I like to shoot, what I like to capture, and how can I best represent that to a client who is potentially looking to book somebody like me. So I think that's really important too.
Agreed.
Anyway.
And I even find, I will say, as a photographer who kind of talks about like my goal is to get you photos where you can see like the joy of your day.
Yeah.
I even do find myself really shooting details and like, thinking about it also from a vendor perspective of like, okay, make sure I'm capturing things for the vendors. And so I sit there and I've even thought to myself, maybe I'm going to start splitting up my galleries where one gallery goes to the vendor team.
I like that idea.
And then I take all those like accessory photos where the couple's not going to do shit with 18 photos of like the floral arrangement from different sides. And why add that into the couple's gallery? Instead, add it to just a vendor gallery. I don't know. I say that. Who knows what's actually going to happen? But same for photographers. Since we're talking to couples all the time about do what you want to do, vendors, you can do whatever you want to do. As long as you find couples who trust you and align with you,
like
Do you,
that.
boo boo? Okay.
Okay.
On the list.
We can skip the next one because I feel like that's just an obvious one. It's brought kids when it's a no kids wedding. First of all, you're out. I'm banning you. I don't want your fucking children
gotta
here.
go.
Unless the child's invited, don't want it.
Yeah. And to bring them after it says, hey, no kids.
Well, you didn't see that part of the invitation? No, bitch. You just wanted to go.
Yeah. And I just think that's yes, I know that I'm out there and I'm like, hey, I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids. I don't hate children, by the way. I have nieces and nephews. Like, I love children. I'm not one of those people who I'm like,
babies.
I hate children. You know what? If there were never any children, we would also not be here. Like, there's a rhyme and a reason for kids. But if it says no kids and you brought a kid,
be respectful.
It's disrespectful. It's not privilege, but it's just like,
ignorance.
I'm like, go away.
Rude.
It's not that we don't like your kiddos, but like there's a bunch of drunk people everywhere and just like
somebody gonna stomp on it.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna trample on your kid.
So it's just like we're not trying to be mean, but then just don't go to the wedding and that's okay too. We'll miss you.
But you know what? Oh, this is gonna sound so crazy. And this is my opinion and something that I was thinking about earlier, and it has specifically to do with kids. And I just was thinking, I am somebody who, yes, would like a child someday. I don't need one necessarily, but like selfishly, I would like to potentially explore having a child or adopting a child in some capacity.
Yeah.
I think it's a little selfish.
To have a kid?
Yeah. I think it is. I don't think it's bad or horrible.
Yeah.
But when I was thinking about it, again, for me, from my perspective, I was like, well, what would be the reason? Like,
now, here's the thing, though. If you adopt a child, I think that negates your selfishness.
Okay.
Because there are children that need to be adopted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would love to adopt.
But like you said, if you think about your reason for having a child,
right?
If you're like, I want to have a child because I really do want to form a human and
raise someone up who can be a great person.
Yeah, who can be a great person and be an empathetic person and like contribute to society. That's different than saying, I want a kid because I want to dress them up and they're going to look like me. And I think that'd be fun because people think about having a kid and they think about like the baby, the infancy stage. They think about the toddler, the cute, whatever. And I go, okay, but what about when that kid comes to you and said, hey, mom, I'm pregnant at 15 years old? Like, and I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Call me Gigi.
But I'm just saying, like, you have to understand that this kid very likely is not going to be who you think they're going to be. They're going to be their own person. And you have to accept them and love them and try to teach them to be just a good fucking human. Yep. Are you ready for that responsibility?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
People don't think about it. Anyway, thanks for listening to our parenting pod.
Yeah.
From two
I was going to say unmarried
women.
Unmarried, no kids.
Non-mothers.
And we're going to tell you
how to parent.
How to
raise your
and if you should have a child or not. This is going to get clipped, I swear to
God.
Oh my gosh,
and
someone's going to share it.
I was only speaking from my own personal, like for me. I'm not even thinking about others. I'm thinking like for me right now, if I had a kid right now, I feel like would that be selfish?
Fair.
But just for me.
And I will tell you, I don't give a shit what the rest of you do.
But I don't give a fuck.
For me, Adam and I don't want children, but I am in a space where I go, let's say if I made a oopsie, $100 million, whatever.
$100,000.
Doji, we do love you, even though we clearly don't know the words to the song. But if I were to get pregnant right now, honestly, I would see that as like that is what was meant to happen. Adam and I have the cutest little kid, and I'd be okay with that. But I'm not actively going to try to have a baby for selfish reasons on the other side of things, right? Where I go, oh, no. I want to go on the road for 3 weeks next month and not have to worry about anything. Even the fact that I have to board my dogs, I'm annoyed with. I'm annoyed. Like that already, I'm like, God, I wish I didn't have to worry about this shit. But I would never take having my dogs back. Like I would never take that back.
Right.
So it's just like, and I think
it's just an added layer.
It's just an added layer. Or I think about hard things that have happened recently and I go, damn, if we had kids, this would be another level of hell. So it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to have them. And also with how the world is right now, I'm just kind of like, I think the days are like the world's going to end tomorrow. Every day. I'm like, it's probably going to end tomorrow. Someone's going to hit that button. Someone's going to throw a hissy fit and that big White House and just hit a button and the whole world's going to blow up.
Not the button.
Not the button.
I'm not concerned. Well, I mean, I've got
They
plenty
hit
of
the second
concerns,
tower.
but
Yeah.
Megan! Number 6.
Number 6.
My parental aunt hooked up with the best man in my childhood bed. We've not spoken in 25 years.
Also, maybe I'm just dumb, but like, why call out your parental aunt?
I know. Just say your aunt.
Your aunt. Your aunt hooked up with the best man. Also,
Good for your aunt.
No, but I need more to this story. Were they in relationships?
Was he as old as her? Was she a coug
Yeah.
taking on a little cub?
But like, look,
Hate that I
get
just said
yours. A coug taking on a cub is maybe the craziest
Diabolical.
thing I've ever seen. We need to get that as tattoos.
That's the craziest thing you've ever heard after you're telling me you're putting your fucking dead husband's head in the freezer and keeping his body there forever to console you.
That's true. And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, you absolutely should find that. I can't tell you what it's called. I can't tell you the number of it.
We don't know.
But it's one of the other audio only episodes.
It's the episode before this.
I don't know if we're gonna post these in order.
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Cool.
But it is crazy. But
I've heard crazier.
my thing is like,
Whatever.
get
Sex
hers.
is sex.
Yeah.
Let people hook up. Let
gotta
people be wild and free if they want to be.
You gotta scratch an itch. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, as long as you're not cheating.
And you're both consenting
Yes.
adults, which
Yes.
means 18 and older, then
Get it.
I always tell Adam that if he is going to die, I need him to die now or die when he's 90. Because like I don't want to be 50 years old and a widow because like I'm going to be promiscuous.
Yeah, do you know what's crazy?
Because I'll be 50 and I'll have some shmoney because his life insurance. I'm going out to Vegas and I'm just like, oh, went to the Magic Mike show and now I'm taking one of the mics back to Park MGM with me.
That's very
Specific.
Okay,
I know.
yeah.
I've clearly thought about this before. But you know what I mean? I'm like, I need you to die really, really old or just now because I don't want to be 50 years old because like I'll resort back to teenage antics, I think.
Well, when I'm 50, Craig will be. Wait, how old is that? 50 to 60 is 10. He's 16 years. He'll be 66.
Nuts.
That's actually not that bad. At first, I thought it was 75. And I was very concerned when I first thought of this. And I was like, shit, if Craig's 75 and I'm 50, I'm not doing that. I'm going home and breaking up with him right now.
Right now. You're
Literally,
like, you actually gotta
I'm
go.
done. But 50 and 66 actually is not that bad. So I'm way less concerned now that I say that out loud.
Do you think that, so obviously he'd probably be retired by 66, let's say. Do you think you'd also want to retire at 50 or would you still work another 15 years?
Depends on what I'm doing.
That's true. I would love for Adam and I to both be photographers traveling around the world in our like 50s. I think
Yeah.
that'd be super fucking
That would
fun.
be cool.
But
Yeah.
who knows?
Anyway.
Number 7, my husband's sister, so my sister-in-law, had the first, oh my God, I can barely read this only because I'm shocked. Okay. My sister-in-law had the first dance with the groom.
My husband.
Yeah. And then told people how she had the first dance. So
Like, rubbed
instead
it in her
of
face.
if Adam and I got married, instead of me having a first dance with Adam, it was his sister who had their first dance. And then she went off blabbing to everybody how I had your first dance with that groom. Sucker punch
You're done.
to the twat. Not
You're
even to
done.
the face, to the twat.
You're
done.
literally done, and I'm never speaking to you ever again.
See that. Leave your auntie who's been fucking. Leave her alone. But a sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah. Sister-in-law?
Who's being like, ugh, that's like that Folgers commercial of that brother and sister where he comes back from like
War.
a trip in, I think it's Africa.
Okay.
Or possibly war. Maybe a war in Africa.
Okay.
Maybe I missed something in history class. And they're like making eyes at each other.
Ew.
I'm like, this is so creepy.
It's like Dave from Love is Blind and his imaginary sister. That's what this is giving. Sick.
Can't get over that.
Sick and twisted. What?
Really quick,
What?
speaking of Love is Blind, so you know how I did Rough Start Rescue puppy yoga?
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so then Rough Start Rescue got together with the cast of Love is Blind Minneapolis, and I was
that.
like, where was my motherfucking phone call to come photograph this?
I saw that.
But
Anyways. I love that actually though. I love that. I think on every episode, I know it's cocktail hour, but let's keep hyping up the rescues in the Twin Cities. I really like Rough Start Rescue, Warrior Dog Rescue, all sorts of rescues out there. These dogs need rescuing.
Yeah.
I am an avid animal lover. If I didn't have 5 pets or if I had more property, I would have a rescue on my property. And
Yeah,
I know it's a lot
that's
of
the
work,
dream.
but that is the goal. So shout out to all of the rescues. I actually threw out an idea to the Social Suite girls, and I said, what if once a month we host a animal rescue to do a pop-up at the suite,
That's
and
fun.
they can host an adoption event and
Yep.
allow people to come and meet adoptable dogs, because there are so fucking many. So keep an ear out for some pop-up events at the Social Suite where we bring adoptable dogs. And if you're looking, come. And also, you guys, so many people refuse to foster because they think, well, I'm never home, or I'm not this, I'm not that. Dogs are sitting in shelters.
Yeah.
They would much rather sit on your fucking couch and then go for a walk after than to sit in a cell all day.
Yeah.
Like, keep that in mind.
Agreed. And I will say, as someone who has fostered, the fostering companies like Rough Start Rescue, let's say, are really great. So there's a Facebook page where we can be like, hey, I'm going to be out of town for 3 days. Can someone help out, right? Or can someone, like, this dog needs to go to their, to be like spayed or neutered, whatever they call it, something else. But to do that is, I'm not able to take them. Can someone transport them? Like, it's a big community and it's very nice. Everyone's trying to support each other. Everyone has a common goal. So fostering is really huge. And no, you're not always going to foster fail. Like, yes, it does happen. You fall so in love with a pet, or, with a dog, cat, critter, whatever. But a lot of times your goal is to help them get adopted. And on top of fostering, if you do have a pet, please get them spayed or neutered.
Yes.
Accidents happen, and then all we're doing is becoming another statistic of adding more pets into, or more, animals.
Especially cats.
Yeah, more animals into, possibly other homes where there were already dogs that need to be adopted, or now they're going to shelters. Now they're going to, like, it's just, there are also organizations you can work with for very low cost spay and neuter, because it is much cheaper to do that on a cheaper scale than to manage
10 cats
populations of animals out and about. So anyways, that's all we have for you guys today. So thank you so much for sharing this day with us. Don't forget to subscribe, review the pod wherever you listen. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
And make sure you're following us on social media at cocktailhour.podcast. Check us out on Instagram. The link is in our bio for you to submit anonymous stories, grievances, hot takes, all of the things. We want to hear from you every week.
Agreed. Last thing I'll say before we go is, if you do have any sort of connection to Tom Selleck or Sam Elliott, I'd really love to speak with you personally. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.